Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey
It's
Ariel,
going
how are
great.
you?
Good, good. Thank you guys so much for joining today's call. I'm very excited for everyone on here to hear about your story and how you guys have built your business. Can you take a moment and just introduce yourselves, your company, and what you guys do?
So I'll start. Hi, my name is Eric Neill. I'm the CEO and production manager right now of Neill Son Roofing. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, I'm Joe Mishler, also one of the owners at Neill Son Roofing. I'm in charge of our operations department, and we love Business 411.
Yeah, you guys rock. It's been such a blast working with you guys, and that's why I really wanted to showcase some of the achievements you've had, I think, since we've really joined forces here. What made you want to kind of get involved with our company?
So I'm actually the one that found you guys online. Really, what it come down to is as we were growing our roofing company, an exteriors company, I just knew that we needed process and structure. We had something great. This space is a very profitable and lucrative business. We wanted to grow it in a way that was sustainable. And I went online looking for ways to grow the company, watching YouTube videos, finding ways to grow and expand. And I came across Business 411 and came across the manuals and everything that you guys had to offer. And it was just like, it was the most niche business I've ever seen in my life, but it was perfect for what we needed in our business. So brought that to the table and everybody was super pumped to connect with you guys and become a part of your family too.
Awesome. Yeah, I remember when we first connected and then you guys came to our class, our 401 systems class. And from there, you guys were like so excited because it was everything that, you guys were looking for. It sounded like in the next step of growth of your business. And then you guys pulled the trigger on some marketing. We redid the brand, which I'm really proud of. We always showcase your brand, the before and after. It's just astonishing. We'll show it to everyone here as well. But what was going on in your business that caused you to start to make that shift with your marketing and change providers?
Yeah, I can take this one. This is marketing's everything in this industry. So it's scary, when you start talking about potentially making a switch, that's a really big decision. It's one that we have really thrived off of making the switch. I think you guys are more comprehensive than most marketing agencies. You dive more into the granular level of things. You're more transparent, and that's something that's helped us grow as owners and as people that are trying to push our marketing to be better each day. Without having that open line of communication, you're not really going to learn. You're not really going to understand why or what you're doing. So that's been a major help for us. But just to put it in perspective, we were spending the same amount of money with you as we were as our other company, and our phone calls and forums doubled like overnight. And there's just been so much more traction that we're gaining in just such a short period of time with you guys. That's a testament to what you and your team have going on, and we're just happy we made that scary jump to make the switch to Business 401 because it's really been a game changer for us. And in a election year, leads and things are a little bit harder to get. Phone hasn't stopped ringing, and we're surpassing records every month, it feels like, with our leads.
That is awesome. I love hearing that. That's why we do what we do, and just really exciting to see that growth for you guys. So like last year, how many leads you were getting and where were you guys revenue wise?
So last year we did 4.4 million. We in our best months we were getting like 50 to 60 calls and forms. And then this year we're getting like over 200 forms and calls per month right now, and we're booking more appointments than we ever have in the past. Our slow months right now, we're booking as many if not more appointments than we were in our best months last year. And it's, as you know, it's harder to get booked appointments as you generate more and more leads, but we're still booking them at a rate that pretty awesome. We touched 100 appointments the one month, which is we've never done before. So we were really excited about that. And even now, in the down season in roofing and exteriors up north, we're still booking about as many appointments as we were in our best months last year. So it's been great.
And and to give a little more context to it, we didn't start with you guys full on until the middle of this year. So as far as our growth that we've seen those leads crank up, that happened in July, which to us was historically our worst month of the working year to generate leads. We generated more leads in the month of July than we had in any previous month in our business's history. So
Yeah.
now that was with the launch of a new brand, a new website, everything hitting Google all at once, but still the data was just insane.
Yeah. And we're also, because of that, we're going to hit our goal of, we wanted to do 5 million this year, which was after a couple years of really rapid growth, we felt 10 to 15% growth would be awesome. And I don't think we would have hit those numbers if we didn't make the switch. So, but we're on pace to do that for sure now.
I love it. And what's the goal for the upcoming year? Do you guys have that set yet?
To be determined. We're pretty ambitious, but really the thing that's making it hard to put a number on it is we're going to have you guys for a full year. So it's kind of a question of, okay, what's the world economy going to do now? What are we going to be able to do with you guys? But we're at the point now where, it's 5 million. That was a big goal from us from the start. Now we want to kind of control the growth a little bit more and start making a business that's more repeatable, a business that you can take to other locations potentially, and just focus on getting the right people in the right seats and getting ourselves back into those integrator and visionary roles a little bit more than just the day-to-day, and continue the growth at a sustainable level and keep this thing moving.
I love this.
I was just going to add in there that it really comes down at this point to lead generation. Obviously is what everybody's after, but it's the combination of both the lead generation within your marketing and your ability to perform and execute on those leads, right? So like you can create all the leads in the world, but if you can't execute on the leads, run your sales calls properly and execute on a high level as far as the installation of the exterior remodeling, it's a combination of everything. So moving forward, it's like, okay, we have this foundation now. Okay, now let's build the house, right? Let's build the house metaphorically, and let's build it up. So we have this foundation of our lead generation. Now it's a matter of, okay, we need to get, like Joe is saying, the right people in the right seats to become sustainable and to grow in a controlled pace, in a controlled manner, where we can really have our quality be great. And I think that's the biggest thing, is a lot of people get caught up in this, like, gotta sell, and then figure it out in the back end. Whereas like we did that at first, and it was like, okay, hold on, let's be really controlled. Let's get our marketing under control. Let's get our brand under control, and then we'll get the people in the right seats, because it'll attract the right people, right? I think that's the biggest thing too with your marketing. You're not only marketing to, potential customers, but you're also marketing a potential workforce, right? People look at your brand and they say, oh wow, they're a lot more official. They're a lot more. They seem big and they know what they're doing. And I don't know, gives you a lot of confidence. It gives people confidence in your business too, and creating that culture and things like that through your business. So that's part of the growth as well, not just within the leads, but also within, attracting the look and the brand and the feel of your business and the growth.
Yeah, branding and just overall, it builds the culture, it builds the morale between you and the client and you and your team. There's so many added benefits to, the longevity of your business by building it out the right way. So I like that you said strategic growth. I think that's really important, because what's the point of being a $5-10 million company if you're all over the place and running crazy, running rampant? You don't want that. No one wants that for themselves.
I think what's really cool too, just thinking about like working with you guys and working with Dylan specifically, we get to actually strategize with him, right? It's not just like, you're throwing money at this big conglomerate business that doesn't actually work with you and talk about the future. And like every single time we meet with him, we're talking about the next thing we're going to do, the next month, the next couple months, the next quarter, the next year. Like we're already planning out the future, which I think is really huge that you guys have that person to focus on the business, because, we're doing what we do. Right. It's kind of like we're business owners. We need to focus on what we do. We need to focus on business growth. But then like being able to meet and be strategic with someone who's solely focused on helping you be strategic is huge, because it separates us from having to take that hat and like kind of have someone help us essentially, which is great.
Yeah. The best way I can put it with you guys and your marketing division is the company we were with and the rep we did have were great. Like I really liked our rep. I liked the company. The phone was ringing, like what's there not to like about that? I don't really have anything super negative for them. It's mostly positive, and the rep was great. We had a good relationship. That's a testament though for us to make a switch and be sitting here saying like it's one of the better decisions we've made as a company, is a testament to you guys. And it's pretty awesome. And we really do enjoy our relationship with you and your company, and just it's going to play a big role in our growth.
Thank you. Yeah, the feeling is mutual. We're just so excited for you guys. Everything you do, all the updates we get, we just love hearing it. How has hitting these goals, building your brand? I mean, look at the shirts. I mean, I just love you guys are both branded out, represent. I'm gonna need one of those, I think, too. But how has hitting your goals, building your brand, how has that got, I see how it's impacted your business growth, but how has it impacted you guys personally as leaders in the company?
Oh man, I think that's the biggest thing is, Joe and I are young. My dad gives us a lot of that old school contractor experience, and he's really the knowledge source of the business. But for us, I think this year has been about becoming better operators, better controllers, understanding how to manage people. And what this allows us to do is it allows us to take our focus off of creating, our own SOP, right? Like it allows us to not worry about that, but worry about becoming better managers and better leaders, which that's really how the business will grow, right? The structure and the process is one thing, but it's, your personality, understanding people, that's all a part of, how you grow because you can't grow without people, right? So like understanding that dynamic better and producing more revenue, right, allows us to work on, getting the right people in the right seat, which then becomes, learning how to operate better. So I think that's really been the key for this year in the way I look at how this year has helped us grow personally.
Yeah, I think to add on to that, there's been a lot of growth in how we look at our business and just business in general. We could push hard. The leads are there. We could try to take on everything we see, but weigh that option of, giving 50% to each customer instead of 100%. In the long run, you're really going to lose out on revenue and you're going to lose out on profitability. You're going to lose out on people that want to advocate for your business, and you're going to lose out on high quality employees too. People feel that when you don't really feel like you're giving or putting out into the community what you say you're all about. Your values can be written on the board, but if you don't live it out and stand for that every day, that's a culture killer. So focusing on that and always focusing on the values and the mission of the business to be the pusher of our growth, and not necessarily like, just wanting to say we're a $6 million or $10 million business. That's going to be the key to long-term success and building something that's really, worthwhile, not only for the dollars and cents, but also for, what you get to take with you when you go home at night, and you get to feel good about something that you've built with amazing business partners, amazing employees, and just amazing people that you've touched in the community too. So it's funny when you do the right thing and you know what the right thing is, everybody does, everything else follows. So just continuing to trust that and try to do things the way that we set out to grow the business and run the business is really important to us.
Yeah, I love that impact component to what we do as business owners, right? We impact so many people's lives. And so I don't take that lightly. And it's just awesome to hear, how this has impacted you and with your growth. I know people are wondering right now, what marketing are you doing with us?
So we did basically everything. You guys redid our brand, which we love our new brand. We're proud to wear it. I'm cheap and I let us spend a lot of money on some nice stuff. So that tells you how much I like it. We're doing pay-per-click, Google advertising through you. We're doing Google LSA. We're doing Facebook advertising. You guys are in charge of our new website, which looks amazing. You've helped us with our print marketing. We're getting some truck wraps done next week. We've never even had truck wraps. Just so excited to get that going, and just everything that comes with that ultimate plan that we're on with you guys. It's digital's important. It's the driving force of leads, but now we're getting that funnel is going to grow because now we have better print marketing. We have better visibility within the community. We're able to go to a home show now and actually represent ourselves the right way. So we're excited to start generating leads elsewhere. A little bit harder to track those, so I don't know if I'll ever be able to give you an exact number, but we're excited to see where that takes us and continue to grow the brand within our marketing to help take a little bit of the pressure off of always getting it from Google.
Yeah, I love that. I always preach that's why you guys are on the ultimate, that 360 strategy where you're hitting things from multiple different angles. And then, as you said, the brand's building the whole thing. And even though there's not a direct, you can't calculate the brand ROI directly, you can kind of over time because you see the growth in the brand's presence and the dominance of your brand in your market. So it also allows you guys the opportunity to expand. I mean, I'm really excited. I think there's some really cool things down the pipeline. How do you guys feel the brand has helped your marketing by by having the new logo, having the new brand identity?
I think it was really cool actually. When we first launched the new brand, we actually worked with a previous customer that we had replaced the roof on his house, and then he called us back to replace the roof on his detached garage. And super great guy. He was a huge advocate for the business, and I got to talk to him about it because he was one of the people that I could relate. We could have a real conversation. And he was like, "I saw your new brand." And I was like, "What do you think about it?" To get actual feedback. And he was like, "It is awesome." Like anybody I've ever talked to about it is like they love it. It's like it's so different. I think that's the biggest thing is it's not what you expect. But yeah, he was like, "I love it." It's just it shouts out at you. It's different. It's unique, and I think that's the feedback that I've gotten from like the impact of the brand. And from there, it definitely plays into the lead generation, just not looking the same, looking a lot more professional. I've gotten that a lot. I've gotten like, you guys look bigger than you are. And that's a good thing, right? Because, when the way we run our business being, more of a family friendly type of atmosphere, it plays perfectly into it because it gives you that big company feel like you're going to get taken care of, but like still that, we're smaller and we're a small business and everything. So I've got a lot of like people saying that it's very professional. That's biggest lead. The feedback helps build that trust, I think, a lot with potential customers. So that's the feedback
no
I've
doubt.
gotten from it.
We've been talking a lot recently about like the whole experience for us and the ability to get like a 5-star review from a customer when it's all said and done. And it all comes down to something that like it opened up our eyes meeting with Liz last week, setting realistic expectations. And I think in a weird way, our brand sets the expectation for our company before you even know us. So our whole focus when we were making this brand was family friendly, approachable. We wanted to look bigger than we are, but we also wanted them to realize like, oh, these guys are local. They care about me. They have that little soft touch of a family business, but then we can deliver like all the bigger corporate companies that have PE backing and things like that with the tech, the new age estimating tools and things like that. So it's really awesome. I think we're setting a real realistic expectation of separating ourselves from the Chucks with Trucks and smaller contractors, but then also the brand isn't like too corporate, and it's very soft to where if you look at a bigger company's logo, you can kind of tell like you're not local, and they're not willing to put any one person or two people's face on it because they know that. So we're positioning ourselves in that way on purpose, and you guys did a great job of capturing the vision and then making it come to life for us in our brand. I really think it's something that people know why they're calling us subconsciously without even realizing it now.
That's awesome. So my final kind of question for you guys would be, because it just so much I mean, we could go on and on. I think there's so much we could talk about that's really exciting about what you guys are doing and how we've partnered together. The biggest thing is this is a partnership, right? Like you said earlier, we could deliver all the leads, but if they're not being handled correctly, and there's fall off on that end, it doesn't really work, and vice versa, right? It takes two to kind of build. And so that's why this is such a great and unique partnership. What would you say to others who are listening right now, debating if they should pull the trigger on marketing with us?
Marketing in general is how business operates. You read any book, you read anything about business growth, right? Your marketing is most important. And I think understanding the expense of your marketing is huge. One thing that we didn't have before that we do now is we know what a lead costs us now. I think before it wasn't transparent what we were paying for, essentially. Now we know. And that is one of the metrics that, is not necessarily understood until we started working with you. Because when we understand what it costs us now to get a lead, then we can budget our entire year. We know how many people we need. We know how much structure and process and everything we need, trucks, trailers, everything. And that's all comes down to understanding what a lead costs, right? Now, obviously, you want that lead cost to go down. That comes with branding, comes with different types of marketing and all those things. But in general, we didn't understand that until now. So if you're out there and you're thinking like, should I pull the trigger in this? Ask yourself the question, do you know what a lead actually costs you? And if you don't know that answer, then that's a reason to pull the trigger, because you're working with Business 411 to understand that in order to actually understand your business. So that's a reason why just in itself to go with Business 401 as far as your marketing is concerned, because then you'll be able to understand your business and help your business thrive.
No doubt. I 100% agree with that too. I have two comments to make on this. Number one, you said the word partnership, and that's 100% what this is. You know, I'm not hiring you to do something that I don't have time to do. You guys are there teaching us, helping us grow as marketers ourselves throughout this whole process too. But the first point, 100%, I know my marketing now better than I've ever known it before. I know what we're doing in the future now better than I've ever known before. There's an actual plan. So what Eric said about, if you can't answer the simple question of what am I doing in my marketing? How much does it cost me? What am I going to do in 2 months from now? What am I going to do when it's busy season? Then you need help. You need somebody there to push you and to help coach you through those moments. But what I think the number one reason people should join you for is, do you want to be a winner? Because this is a partnership. And not only are you guys holding us accountable, you're challenging us to push, to get better, to be better. And I don't think you're a fit for everybody. I don't think, if you're not a winner, you're not a fit for Business 411, because they work with winners and they want to help you become a bigger winner. They want to succeed in their own business. And that type of partnership where there's like values and like goals and like-minded people, you're gonna see the payoff in the back end. And I think that's one thing we can appreciate. Eric and I are very competitive, and you guys have that same edge, and it's awesome to see. You know, you care about us being successful because that's you winning and that's your company winning. And you don't get that everywhere else. So if you want to be a winner and you want to take this thing to the next step, you know what to do. It's time to make the change.
Let's go. Yes, I'm so happy because when you guys win, we win, and it's just so exciting. I'm so glad we were able to deliver for you guys marketing transparency, but also give you that clarity you need to move forward. And I truly value you guys, your time, your company, and thank you so much for taking the time to help others who are kind of not sure where the next steps are for their marketing, and hearing your story definitely helps them put things into perspective with their decisions and what their next steps are. So thank you guys so much for taking time today.
Of course. Thank you for
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for helping us grow. Thank you guys for helping us, achieve our goal for the year. I think it's been a great year and a great partnership, and looking for the years to come.
I'm very excited. To the moon we go.
That's right.
Awesome. Thank you guys.